Hi, I'm Ben, and this is Bramble, the tiny narrowboat that I call home. We travel along the UK's inland waterways, having adventures and making discoveries as we go. Come with us as we cruise along on our travels. This is Ben's Boat Bramble. Hello and welcome back. I am currently looking at a few books, trying to get inspiration for where I might go in my travels this year. I'm not exactly sure, but I have a massive urge to go north. I'm not too sure where or how far, or if I'll even come back the same way. But yeah, I'm really feeling the urge to see the Grand Union Canal as much as I can. Maybe over the course of a month or two. I'm not too sure yet. As I said, I'm just looking. I'm currently having a look through the Nicholson guide, which seems to be one of the most popular navigation books among boaters. You see it in most videos, and when people talk about maps, this is usually what they're referring to. There's lots of good apps out there as well, but they don't really have as much information about what's around the canals as well. So yeah, there's lots of really good information in here. I've just read that I'll be going up to Denham Deep Lock when I move, because I'm still continuing north on the Grand Union Canal, and Denham Deep Lock is the deepest lock on the Grand Union Canal, so that's got me very excited. So maybe in the next episode, I don't think I'll move today, but maybe in the next episode I will be going in the deep lock, which is quite nerve-wracking, but really exciting as well. You join me in the galley area, which is 2 paces from where I just was, not far at all. And I'm just having a bit of a tidy up. I'm going to make myself a coffee and yeah, have a little bit of a tidy up inside and out. I might take these lights down as well. There's some stray decorations still up from Christmas time, so I'll probably get those off as well. And while that's boiling, I'll just be putting things away. So the upper half of one of these cupboards is tidy, but the rest of them are still really quite disorganised. I used quite a lot of batteries over the Christmas period, and I've been saving them up to till I find somewhere I can recycle them. We usually find recycling points in the bigger supermarkets. This is my litter picking ring for the bin bags. It's also useful in here because I don't have a bin. I think having a large bin in such a tiny boat would be a waste of space. So when I am doing a bit of a clean up, it's useful to have this to hand. Reggie the reindeer is losing his antlers. He's shedding his antlers slowly. I'm not too sure if Reggie's going to make it till next year. I might well keep him as emergency heating. I now have one relatively clear surface, unlike the small table or this side. This will come in handy in a couple of months' time when it starts to get warm. So I usually have this on the table there, and I plug in the USB there, and keeps me nice and cool. It's not the strongest fan, but you know, on a hot day when there's no air movement, it's really nice to have that there. So that's not going to go too far. There's an old advert for Bramble. You can see the inside really has changed quite a lot. This is the bow door, which is behind me. There used to be a corner sofa which pulled out into a bed, which I am actually considering, but I fear that it would be too close to the stove, which is just there on this side. The galley kitchen area was a lot smaller, so there was only this tiny countertop here. The shelf is still there, which is there. So the galley would have stopped around about where the cooker is, and there was actually another bed past the cooker, a single bed. So there was a double and a single, whereas now there's only a single. It's pretty nice and clear on this side now. I really would like to know if this shows a good feel for the space, how small it is or how big you think it is. I feel myself asking that question when I watch other videos, if the camera really shows how big or small the space is. And I think in most of the photos that I have on my Bramble Instagram, I use a wide lens, so I think it makes the boat look a lot bigger than it actually is. I'd be interested to hear what any of you would do with this space. As it stands, I'm quite happy with how Bramble is, but it would be nice to have a guest or two over now and then, which is why I tested to see if I could put that camping bed up on the last episode, which is fantastic, so I can accommodate at least one other person, but it would be hard to walk around to get to the loo and things like that. But yeah, have a look and then tell me what you might do. I've just been giving Bramble's exterior a bit of a clean with the trusty watering can and sponge. I'm going to give polishing a go. I've got a revolving polisher and I'm going to patch test a little bit. Not too sure where yet, but I'm going to get that out and show you guys. Before I can think about polishing, the paint needs to be dry. The paintwork, I should say. Because you can't polish on a wet surface. So hopefully it doesn't rain. We have got rain due in a few hours. Also, I've discovered a few bits of flaking paint where bird poo was left on the paint too long, which is entirely my fault. and it's eaten away at the paint beneath. So when I've rubbed it off, it's taken the paint with it. So that's really on me. I'm now sitting on the bow, as you can see, and I've just cleaned a bit of the bow door, and I'm going to give it a bit of a polish about a third of the way down, 2/3 of the way down, and see if I can notice a difference on the polished to non-polished paintwork. So I'll show you my polisher. There we are. I got this recently and I have tried it out on a car, and I was quite happy with the result I found there. It did give quite a nice finish. So it has quite a few settings. This is setting 1 and it goes all the way to 6. And this is definitely not a how-to video. All I know is that you need a very clean surface, add a little bit of polish on the damp terry cloth cover, and then polish away until it's semi-dry, and then wipe it off with a microfiber cloth. That's what I'm doing anyway. That's what I did on the car, so I'm just going to give it a go. So I've just dampened the terry cloth slightly. That's what it says on the directions, and we'll add a little bit of polish. This is car polish. A little dribble, and then I'll get polishing. Just going to add it to the surface and then polish it around. So here we go. I'm now going to wipe that off. You might not be able to see it from there, but there is a very thin film. It almost looks like a bit foggy. It's very thin film of dry polish, and the idea is to buff it up, get that polish off. I'm not expecting a massive change here because Bramble's paintwork is still relatively new. So yeah, it's still very shiny, you know, we can see there it's still very shiny. Up here it's still very shiny as well, but I think I have just improved the reflective quality of the paintwork there. So I have polished this, and I haven't polished this. To me there is actually quite a big difference there. Let me know if it's just me, but I think have managed to really bring back a bit more of a shine. Not that there wasn't a lack of shine, but yeah, no, I think this genuinely has worked. I'm not too sure how interesting that even was to watch. But the idea is that I'm going to maintain Bramble, especially the paintwork and the engine and everything else I can maintain to a good standard. Obviously it's where I stay, it's my home, and you want to look after it. I've just noticed as well that there's quite a difference to the touch of it. This is very smooth and my hand now glides over the surface, whereas here there's a lot more friction. Obviously you can't tell that through the camera, but I'm trying to describe it as best I can. Yeah, it's almost like a rubber-like friction on these bits up here, and down here it's very easy and soft. Smooth is the word. Yeah. So so not only visually but to touch there's a difference, and I'm sure that the water will form nicely over the surface rather than stick to it. You know, it will I've forgotten the word again. I forgot this word on another video. The word I was looking for was beading. So on another day soon, if I start a bit earlier, I'm definitely going to be happy to do the rest of Bramble. I'm still trying to think of that word when the water forms droplets rather than, you know, sticking to the surface as a whole. Beading. If you're fairly new to the channel, I'll show you the outside of Bramble briefly. This is the stern, where you steer from. And there's the bow. And that's it. There really isn't a lot of Bramble, but the amount there is very cute. You can still see that reflective shine on the paintwork on the side. And it's just starting to rain, so it's a good thing that I did the polishing when I did. I'm currently using the binoculars to look at a couple of fuel boats that are coming up the canal. It's Jules Fuels. Nice. It's nice to have actually used these. Not that I'm getting anything from the fuel boat, but it's good to be able to see quite far ahead, especially if you're on a piece of canal that you've never been on before. It might be good to see what's ahead before you get there. Here comes Ralphie. Hello. Sorry for the shaky image. Obviously, being so zoomed in, any movement I'm doing is quite substantial. Anyway, I love binoculars. So now that the space is nice and clear, I'm probably going to have a nice earned rest and think about moving. I'm really excited about doing Denim Deep Lock, which will be in the next episode or two, probably next episode, and weather permitting, that is. Train's coming to drag you away. Won't let that train leave with you, it would be a sad day. Told you more than a couple times that you could stay. So why do you keep going to that platform in the rain? You've been so hurt before, I've seen your heart die. I'll never stop trying to make you smile. Your head's been under the water for way too long. You're drowning in your own tears. Train's coming to drag you away. Won't let that train leave with you, it would be a sad day. Told you more than a couple times that you could stay. So why do you keep going to that platform in the rain? I can't read your mind. Nothing helps but time. Give me time to think. About why our love is done. Drag you away. Won't let that train leave with you, it would be a sad day. Told you more than a couple times that you could stay. So why do you keep going to that place? Remember to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. You can support myself and Bramble on buymeacoffee.com, and there's a link to that in the video's description. I'm currently warming myself up next to the fire and contemplating what I'll be doing over the next couple of videos. I'm really excited to do denim deep lock. That should be quite the experience. I think I'll leave it there for today. If you like what you see, please do subscribe. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. Thanks very much for watching.